Welcome back. Now, it's no longer news that the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, is now back to the country and in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS. Kanu, who is facing an 11-count charge of treasonable felony, jumped bail in 2017 and left the country after soldiers raided his family residence in Abia State. According to the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, the repatriation was made possible through the collaboration of Nigerian security and intelligence agencies who have been on the IPOB leader's trail for over 2 years. Following his rearrest, Kanu was rearranged to face his trial before Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja, who ordered that he be remanded in DSS custody and adjourned his matter to July the 26th and 27th. Let's now discuss this further. I'm now being joined on the program by Mr. Babatunde Ogala, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, and he joins us from another part of Lagos. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on the program. Let me begin by asking you, what you make of the rearrest of Nnamdi Kanu.
What I can make of it is to perhaps go a little bit historical. I'm aware that Nnamdi Kanu was arraigned and was standing trial before the Federal High Court, Abuja, where Justice Binta Nyako presided. And while the trial was on, I recall he was detained for a while, and at some point applications were made for his bail, and he was granted bail. And what is the essence of bail? The essence of bail in a pending trial, it's to give the defendant some temporary freedom on the assurance that he will be available to stand trial. So upon this premise and the assurances given by his counsel, of course, the judge requested that sureties be provided. And what is the essence of suretyship? It's just to give an assurance that I can guarantee that this man will come for trial, and I enter into a bond that if he's not available, I shall forfeit that bond. Upon these assurances, Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail on terms by the judge. Of course, the trial was subsequently adjourned to future dates, on which dates Nnamdi Kanu was not available to stand trial. That informed the decision of the prosecution to apply to the courts to revoke his bail and issue a bench warrant for his arrest. So, as it were, I want to believe that is pursuant to that bench warrant. And what's a bench warrant? A bench warrant is an order to arrest and bring to court a defendant wherever he is found. So, Nnamdi Kanu, as it were, has been found, and from what we read in the newspapers, he was found outside the country, brought back to the country, and again brought before the court, which now ordered his remand before with the Department of State Security Service, and also ordered that his lawyers should be informed that he has been arrested and brought back.
Now, thank you very much.
That is my understanding of what has transpired.
Thank you for that detailed explanation. Something I want to find out from you, because this has raised some sort of debates now out there in the public, that the day when he was taken to the court, where the DSS took him to court to get the court order now to remand him, that they ought to have allowed him access to his lawyer, that he was somehow against the law to have taken him to court without access to his lawyer. I'm talking about the last time he was taken to court, where the court eventually granted that order. Can you help us understand it now, legally speaking?
That may not be correct. The order of court, when a bench warrant is issued, it's an order for you to arrest and bring him before the court. Wherever you find such a defendant, arrest and bring to the court, not to his lawyers. And the court has rightly said, take him away, keep him, but inform his lawyers that he's being held by you. And that, I believe, would have been done if, from what we read in the papers, his lawyers have become aware. I know some letters, I've seen some letters on the media, or allegedly written by his lawyers, even to some UK agency to come to. Exactly. So the order of court is go and arrest him wherever you find him and bring him to this court, not take him to his lawyers. It is now the court that has rightly ordered that go and keep him in your custody, the DSS custody, and inform his lawyers. That is now an order of court, and give him access. So I believe that is the state they are in now. So I'm not aware that he has met or not met with his lawyers, but like I said, there are some letters we've seen in the media which was allegedly written by his lawyers to some agency in the United Kingdom asking them to come to the aid of a British citizen.
Now, let me ask you this. Going forward now, do we expect that the trial will now continue from where it stopped the last time? Is that what we expect to see?
Absolutely. Of course, that's where it continues from there. And don't forget, his bail has now been revoked. So he's no longer on bail.
But could his lawyer actually apply for another bail for him?
Well, the court will decide if he deserves to get another bail. That is for the court to decide. I'm not to discuss on the merit or otherwise of his application. I've not seen his application. I don't know the premise upon which it is being requested for. Yes, it has been said that bail is a constitutional right, especially when the offenses are not such that constitute that are treasonable. That is a constitutional right. But there must also be circumstances in which bail may be denied. So we leave the fireworks to the lawyers to convince the court on whether the bail should be granted a fresh bail, or it should continue on the old bail, which ostensibly it would appear he has breached.
I would also want you to probably try to explain this better for people to understand, because we've had talks like, look, the British government, because Nnamdi Kanu actually holds a British passport as well, that the British government should intervene and get him released, and so he could go back to the UK and all of that.
I think that is a misconception to imagine that because you are the citizen of a country, when you now commit an offense in another country, that country will go to the other sovereign country and say, oh, he's my citizen, he must be released. If not, there will be no Nigerian that will be in jail in any country outside Nigeria. And by the same token, there will be nobody who is a non-Nigerian that would have been convicted or put on trial in Nigeria. It is a misconception. And in his own case, he is also a Nigerian. He holds a dual citizenship. So the best the British government can do for him is to just monitor the trial. They can't stop another country from enforcing his laws. They cannot stop another country from putting on trial persons who break the laws. I mean, DEJI, I ask you to ask yourself for the minute. Umar Murtala, the underwear bomber, was convicted in the United States of America for attempting to blow up a Delta airline in America. So just imagine for the minute if the Nigerian government were to ask and say, oh, it's a Nigerian citizen who want to intervene, law should not take his course. That doesn't happen. Whoever is suggesting that or imagining that, I will say with all sense of modesty, speaks out of sheer ignorance of the law and international treaties. It is not that you should interfere. they would protect the rights of their citizens. Rights. And part of that right is the right to a fair trial, not rights, not a right. So they will not get involved. They can, at best, and even their treaties. I mean, if you look at the assistance program, I think a few days ago, I was going through it, where it even says, if you are a British citizen, yes, we will offer assistance to the extent that we will monitor and where necessary offer you advice. But it goes further, that where you also hold the citizenship of that other country. So we need to distinguish between the man who carries just a British citizenship and one who is a Nigerian citizen by birth, not acquisition. And who, while he was he committed the offenses he was alleged to have committed them within the territory of Nigeria in breach of Nigerian laws as a Nigerian citizen. So you cannot approbate and reprobate. You carry dual citizenship. If in that case nobody will be liable for.
Right. So let me just quickly ask you this before I let you go. You talked about fair trial. So what kind of trial do you expect to see?
What kind of trial? A very fair one, a very open trial, subject to directions of court and the security concerns and implications that may arise from such a trial. I know he has seasoned lawyers. He had lawyers who were defending him. He had lawyers who made the application for bail on his behalf and succeeded in obtaining bail for him. He had reliable sureties, including a very high-ranking member of government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the distinguished Senator Baridi, the minority leader of the Senate, is a very senior citizen and very senior government official. So he had reliable lawyers, he had reliable sureties, who would have done a good job to have convinced the court to grant him bail in the first place. So I'm sure to that extent he has good legal representation, and until the issue of bail and jumping bail or bail being revoked arose, I didn't think there was any complaint that the trial was not fair. And I think the trial can just but continue along those lines. And like when it was even brought to the court a few days ago, after he was arrested, the court on its own suo motu, even where he had no counsel, said go and keep him until July 7th, I think, I can't remember the date, and
26th and 27th of July.
So 26, 27, keep him, but inform his lawyers. It cannot be fairer than that. Is just fairness. Even without his lawyers being present and making such application, the court suo motu made that order that he must be given access to his lawyers to enable him to prepare for his trial.
Babatunde Ogala, unfortunately, we just have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, and thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on this very thorny issue.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was Babatunde Ogala, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria. Well, that's how much we can take on the program this week. Well, thank you very much for watching. But of course, if you want to watch the program again, it's simple. Just go to our website, tv360nigeria.com. You'll find this program and lots more there. You can also follow us on our various social media platforms. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.